Good morning and welcome to beautiful Wrocław here in Poland. The last time you guys saw us, we would have been in Innsbruck, Austria. We actually spent about 3 weeks traveling around Germany and seeing some towns that we haven't been to before, but we didn't vlog it. Steve wasn't really feeling the best, he's off hiding somewhere. But we're gonna be spending about 3 weeks here in Poland, working our way up to the Baltic, so we're super excited for that. But first, I'm gonna give you a tour of our Airbnb here. It is in such a good location. It's right off the market square. So this is the kitchen. We did cook last night, so it's a little bit messy. Dining area and a little lounge area with TV. I don't think we've turned a TV on this whole time we've been traveling actually. Bathroom with a washing machine. Very much appreciated. And this is just the entrance that we've kind of trashed with all of our stuff. Bedroom, the bed is quite small, but it's super comfortable, so we're not complaining. But the best part of this Airbnb is the view. Check that out. This isn't the main market square. The main market square's over there, which we're definitely gonna show you. You're mostly gonna be seeing my head on camera today. Sorry about that. Steve's not feeling the best. So he's probably gonna be doing the best he can, but I'm gonna be doing most of the talking. What a shock. All right, let's go downstairs. We found a really nice little coffee shop that we went to yesterday. We got here yesterday. Found this really cute coffee shop, so we're gonna go head there now and then set out and explore Wrocław. Walk out. Shut the door. This is already going really well with me driving this vlog today. The only thing about this Airbnb is I wish that they said on the listing that there was about, I think there's something like 100 stairs to get to our Airbnb, which is on the very top level, but this is how many flights of stairs we have to walk up and down every time we want to leave the Airbnb. And the cafe that we're going to is literally 2 doors from our Airbnb. So this is where we're staying here. The building is absolutely incredible, as are all the other buildings around here. But this is our short little walk to, it's called Paloma Specialty Coffee Roasters. So that burnt orange, I was gonna say flavour, coloured building behind me is our Airbnb. We're up on the very top floor there. So I really don't think you could get a better location in Wrocław. Anyway, we're gonna head over to the main market square now, which is meant to be one of the biggest and oldest in all of Europe. So let's go check it out. Fun just walking around the market square here. The perimeter is lined in people's houses and apartments and a ton of bars and restaurants, which we're gonna check out. I think it's the oldest restaurant, it's claimed to be the oldest restaurant in the entire world. So even though Wrocław is Poland's 4th largest city, it definitely does not feel like that. As you can see behind me, there's barely anyone around. And this is November, so it's kind of not Christmas and it's well past summer, so maybe the tourists have fled back to their own towns. But yeah, it feels like a giant village almost. Definitely does not feel like a massive city.
So we're walking through the old town and we've stumbled across an alley, and I'm pretty sure from the research that we've done it's called Butcher's Alley. And these were old butcher shops back in the day, and in front of them you can see these bronze animals which are actually a tribute to all the slaughtered animals that I guess died here back when they were all butcher shops. But now it is art shops, gift shops and jewelry shops if you want to come down and get some souvenirs.
I still am mind blown of how quiet it is. These touristy areas are just, yeah, there's no one here.
It's midday too, so you'd think all the tourists would be out and about by now.
Yep.
But it's not the case.
No, so around Wrocław, you can find these little dwarfs scattered everywhere, or gnomes, and while they are a fun sort of like touristy thing, you can go on like a little gnome hunt, dwarf hunt, to try and see as many as you can. I think there's over 100. So the dwarves are actually mini memorials to Poland's Orange Alternative Resistance, which was an anti-communist movement active in cities all across Poland during the 1980s. The Orange Alternative offered locals in Wrocław a peaceful way to protest the oppressive rulings regime limiting of free speech at the time. The buildings behind me are actually known as the Hansel and Gretel houses. They're given that name because it looks like the two houses are conjoined and holding hands. Thank you. Thank you. Dziękuję. We're on our way to the Penton, I think that's how you say it, bridge, which connects two church towers here at the Magdalene Church. So far we're the only ones here. Let's hope that it stays like that when we get there.
We couldn't see anyone at the top before.
I haven't seen the view yet. Oh my goodness. Another dwarf here.
Wow, look at that view.
And it's such a beautiful day. I feel so lucky to have clear skies. If we didn't mention, it was 15 Polish dollars, so 5 Australian dollars. So worth it.
And we're the only ones up here right now. Yeah. Well, that felt scary, the camera just went over the edge. But we did actually pass people coming up the stairs.
Yeah, so we're gonna get our photos now before they come. From the top here, you can really see the variations of different styles of architecture. You can see the Art Nouveau buildings that I absolutely love. There's Renaissance buildings, there's Gothic style, there's just everything all in this view. It's incredible. So this is the main market hall here in Wrocław, and as you can see, there's a lot of flowers, there's a lot of food. We're here to find a specific Polish sheep's cheese. We haven't seen it yet, so I think we might head upstairs and try and find it.
Now that we're up here, it's not restaurant food places at all.
I was thinking, the best thing about this market is the architecture. Look at all the concrete sort of shaped beams. It's very like Gothic style, it looks.
It reminds me of like the insides of a bow of a ship, but upside down.
Upside down. Oh, yeah, it does.
It's very cool. It's just grey concrete, but it just looks very cool in here.
It does.
Haven't found this sheep's cheese yet. It is a little bit later in the afternoon, so I don't know if everything's open, and it is a Tuesday.
It reminds me of the main Grand Central Market in Budapest in Hungary. That's what it feels like, but a lot less quiet. This is the most chill market hall I think we've ever been to. So from our observation, this market consists a lot of flowers, obviously, deli, so like your dried meats, your cured meats, your dairy, fresh fruits, vegetables, dried fruit. There's a lot of dessert stands as well with like little Polish sweet treats. So
there's cafes at the back as well,
cafes,
like coffee roasteries.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and find these sheep's cheese.
So no sheep's cheese, but Kristy did buy some fruit.
7 figs and a whole heap of mandarins. These were about 18 Australian dollars. Not cheap.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Just for everything or both?
Everything.
All right, so don't come to the market to buy fruit.
No, definitely. It's so fresh. It's local.
$18 for a handful of...
But we couldn't find figs when we went to Kaufland. So if you like figs, then you have to come here and get them. And you're supporting the local businesses. So come to this market and buy your fruit. We're about to walk over the bridge to get to the Cathedral Island part, but just the way that the sunlight is hitting the roofs that are already this beautiful terracotta burnt orange colour, the sunlight is just brightening it so much, and it is, look for yourself, beautiful. So this photograph here is obviously from when the World War II ended, and the cathedral here is actually of that. And I don't think I actually said the Polish name for Cathedral Island is Ostrów Tumski. I'm probably saying that very incorrectly, but that's what it is in Polish. So right behind me is the Big Daddy of the island. It's the St. John's Baptist Cathedral, and it's said to be built in the 13th century. This is the oldest part of Wrocław, and apparently there are remnants of on the island that date back to the 10th century. There is a church, a wooden church to the west of the island, and that I think is the oldest building of the island.
So there's a couple reasons why I've actually come over to Cathedral Island. One is to obviously have a look at the cathedrals in the island, and the other ones, I don't know if you can see above me, is this street lamp, which seems like a weird thing to come somewhere to visit, but actually here in the city, this is one of the only places left in the world or Europe that still uses gas lanterns to light the streets. And every single day at dusk there's a group of lantern lighters, I think they're called, and they go around with a little torch and they light every lantern. So we're here for the next couple hours to hopefully catch the guys lighting the lamps.
We still have about an hour before dusk. We think dusk is, what was it? Like,
I think 4:45.
Yeah, so about an hour. So I'm just gonna sit here and eat a very expensive mandarin. Alright, so we're on a little bit of a goose chase at the moment because there's no like structured map or route that the lamplighter follows. Well, he follows it. We don't know where he goes though. So, and apparently there's only one of them. This is not a small island, and I think there are 103 of these lamps. So we've seen some that are lit.
This one above us lit up. So
they're all lit around there, but we've got to find him. We don't know where to start.
So I've got a bit of a strategy. Rather than following the lit lamps and trying to chase him down, I'm going to try and get in front of him or circle around the block to the unlit lamps and cut him off.
It's like a mystery. It's like, does this person exist, or are we trying to find a unicorn?
Even the lights that are lit, they don't look like gas, they just look like normal electric lights, so we can't even tell if they're actually gas lights or not.
But they're all the same, so
Yeah.
all the lanterns here are the same, so... Oh, they're all lit too. He's around here.
Yeah.
It feels like Christmas. I don't know.
I feel like with our luck, we're going to be standing under the last unlit lantern,
Yes.
and that's where we're going to find him.
And miss our dinner reservation.
There's a lot of people taking photos, so maybe we're getting
He's
close.
around here.
He's wearing,
Yeah, he wears a cape.
yeah, he's got a cape and a top hat, and he's got a long stick that lights, obviously, the lanterns. Right, so the ones down here are lit, but these ones over here aren't lit. So we're going the right direction. But I honestly think all the cathedrals look much nicer at night, all lit up.
So we know realistically it's just a guy dressed up in a cape lighting these lamps, but there's something about it that feels really magical, like almost from a fairy tale, and like you've taken a step back in time, because he sort of came through unscathed from the modernization of the city. So it's like, oh, I want to see the street light lighter. We found him. He's so conspicuous as well. You would never know. It's so weird that we're chasing a guy in a cape lighting lamps.
Everyone just gets their one shot and goes, all right, cool, I've
Yeah.
got it, and heads off. I think we're gonna follow him a little bit more. There's just an army of people following him.
And it started to feel a little bit insane. Like,
There's also like hotel tour buses that follow him around as well.
I think watching one or two is good, and then I started feeling like a moron. Like just continually following this caped dude lighting lamps.
I liked it a lot, like the gnomes, a lot like the gnomes. It's a very quirky thing about the city.
Yeah, very unique
Yeah.
to Wrocław.
But we are starving, so we're going to pick it up, or leave it here, pick it up in the restaurant.
So as we mentioned before, we did end up coming to the oldest restaurant in the world. I've ordered for a starter the cabbage soup. I'm sure it's got some fancy Polish name that I have no idea how to pronounce. And Steve has got the potato pancakes. This is what we're starting off with. The food looks amazing. We're super excited to try the food. This reminds me of the soup that we had in Bratislava, the traditional Slovak cabbage soup there, which was a little bit sour. This tastes exactly like that, but instead of the sausage, this has I think it's like a short rib of some sort in there. Oh, it's so good. I love these sour cabbage soups. They're amazing.
So mains have arrived. I'm very excited about this. Kristy went for the cauliflower steak,
Yes,
which,
looks amazing.
shame on her, it's not very Polish.
We're in Poland, it's Polish.
I went for a assorted handmade pierogies. There's a mixture of, I can't remember exactly the flavors, but I think spinach and ricotta, there's a cheese, and then there's a meat and mushroom. Kristy said she's even very excited to try mine, but the cauliflower does look really good as well.
That is the best mushroom sauce I've ever had.
All right, so I've tasted one of each, and my favorite is the cabbage, and add a little bit of the sort of like, I don't know if it's, oh, that's way too much, like the pickled onion and a little bit of bacon. These are so nice. It's got a very thick pastry outside, and then that cabbage inside with a little bit of bacon. It's like not quite sauerkraut, but it has a bit of a tangy sort of taste to it.
Like a pickled flavour. Do you want to show us the spinach and feta?
So this here is the spinach and feta. This is also really nice. You can see really big chunks of feta in there. And then this one here is the, I don't remember what kind of meat it was. This one here is not my favourite. It kind of has a consistency of pate, which I don't really like, to be honest. But add a little bit of onion or cabbage, I'm not sure. I think it's onion. A little bit of sour cream.
I loved the pate texture one. That was my favourite out of all of them. And you can really tell that they're homemade because they're all irregular shapes. And the density of the dumpling, like the pastry, changes from dumpling to dumpling. And I love them. They're so good.
I've changed my mind. I think the meat one is my favourite now. If you add the sour cream and the pickled onion, it completely changes the taste. And I think it's my new favourite. That dinner was fantastic and really good value too.
Yeah, we ended up paying about 100 Australian dollars, and that was for 2 starters, 2 mains and 4 drinks, so 2 drinks each.
We didn't realise too, they brew all their own beer there. They have a brewery with about, I think 6 or 7 different beers on tap.
Yep.
Really nice beers too. I had the IPA.
I think we're going to end the video here. We've had such a great time here in Wrocław. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Australian accent and
hopefully
whatever.
our Polish gets better in the next 3 weeks that we're in
You'll
Poland.
see.
Probably
Well,
not.
Bye. We're going to be taking you on an epic food tour.
The sauteed mushrooms, the cheese, it's really golden toasted and crispy.
The sweetness of the cranberries really complement the smokiness and the saltiness of the cheese.
This is a cracking dish.
It tastes pretty much exactly like halloumi, pierogi time. I'm going to try with some sour cream. So this bar is called Piana Vishnia for cherry liqueur.
Ooh, it smells very strong. I know Kristy's not going to like this.
I like it.